Hey everyone, welcome back. I don't have a lot of time today because I've got some stuff that I have to make sure that I get done. So I'm going to do as best a job as I can to make this video quickly. We'll see how that goes. Last week I mentioned that Peggy had the basically the European version of the ESRB had leaked that Terraria was on its way to Google Stadia. And up until today, that was true. However, it seems now Terraria will no longer be coming to Stadia. Now, there's going to be people who see the headline and don't bother to read the source material that's behind it, and they will incorrectly assume that this is a dev's reaction to the closing of Stadia Games and Entertainment. Very, very quickly, to catch you up if you are unaware of this, Google is no longer making first party games for Stadia. They are instead taking all of those resources and putting them towards bringing in third party games from other developers and publishers. If you want to know more about that, make sure that you listen to the latest episode of Stadia Cast, and I put out a video last week. There is a link in the description down below. So there's going to be people who read the headline and they don't read the underlying information behind it, and they're going to incorrectly assume that this dev has canceled their game on Stadia because of that news, and that is not true. So why did they cancel Terraria on Stadia? So let's actually look at the tweet. Andrew Spinks at DemiLogic, he says, "My account has now been disabled for over 3 weeks. I still have no idea why, and after using every resource I have to get this resolved, you have done nothing but given me the runaround. My phone has lost access to thousands of dollars of apps on Google Play. I just bought Lord of the Rings 4K, and I can't finish it. My Google Drive data is completely gone. I can't access my YouTube channel, and the worst of all is losing access to my Gmail address of over 15 years. I absolutely have not done anything to violate your terms of service, so I can take this in no other way than you deciding to burn this bridge. Consider it burned. Terraria for Google Stadia is canceled. My company will no longer support any of your platforms moving forward. I will not be involved with a corporation that values their customers and partners so little. Doing business with you is a liability." So this is some very, very strong words. And if you go back and you take a look at the reasoning behind it, basically what happened is that the official channel, the official YouTube channel for Terraria, received a notification saying, "Hey, you have broken terms of service." Now, the official Terraria YouTube channel hadn't uploaded anything in, I guess, like 3 months, so they assumed that that was a mistake and kind of ignored it, which you definitely shouldn't do. But then Google went and banned them. Like, they just straight up, without any warning, pulled the rug out from under them and shut down all of their accounts. That is clearly an overreaction on Google's part. And while this story of Terraria not coming to Stadia anymore is definitely a important for Stadia, but it's not really the Stadia team's fault. This is the fault of Google. Now, I don't know any more details than everything that I just told you, but I guess what was happening is that the manager who's in charge of that and the people at Terraria, they weren't online at the same time, so it was taking a really long time to get this resolved. I honestly have to say that Andrew here, he had a lot more patience than I would have. Waiting 3 weeks to have your account disabled and losing all of that stuff that you bought, that has got to be incredibly frustrating. Now, I know that there's going to be people who say, well, this is why you don't actually own anything. And you're right, you don't actually own anything. But guess what? He didn't own anything that was on his phone. all of those games that he bought on his phone, he had a license to and was yanked. This is not anything to do with streaming and ownership. This has to do with digital goods and ownership. And sure, a lot of games do come out in physical form, but the vast majority of them don't. And you don't own those games any more than you do the physical games. And in fact, you don't even really own the physical games. You own a license to play those physical games, and that can be yanked away at any time if they decide to say, all right, your license is gone. If you tick somebody off and they yank it, you have no recourse. Now, it is absolutely ridiculous. It is ridiculous that that the Terraria team has had to go through this, and it absolutely sucks that they won't be bringing their game to Google Stadia. I hope that they'll change their mind. I hope that people at Google will reach out and say, "Hey man, we screwed up. How can we make this right and fix things?" I really do hope that that's the case. I guess my next question would be, will they continue to support the game on Android? Because Google, has Android, and like that's a big chunk of the gaming market is Android. So will Terraria also be on Android, or is it going to be yanked from that store as well? He's using very, very harsh words here, and I do not fault him at all. I saw some people that were saying things like, "Oh, this guy's overreacting." I don't agree with that. I saw some people say that he shouldn't have complained out in the open. Well, if you are trying to get something done and it doesn't get resolved, sometimes that is your only recourse. He said right in the first tweet, after using every resource I have to get this resolved, you've done nothing but given me the runaround. So I understand why this is happening. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that this had zero, zilch, nada. It had nothing to do at all with Stadia Games and Entertainment closing. This has to do with Google's, I guess, customer service, and this guy just getting fed up with it and saying, "You know what? It's not worth the time and hassle to deal with you, so I'm out." I don't know what's going to happen with Terraria in the future. I don't know if it's going to be on Stadia. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if it's going to continue to be on Android. And is this guy going to turn around and buy an iPhone? Who knows? But right now, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew the real reasons why Terraria on Stadia is canceled. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.